Hello my bookish besties and welcome back. Today I thought it'd be fun to show you the items I picked up from Dragonsteel Nexus. So welcome into my Dragonsteel Nexus haul. I thought this would be a fun video to make because when I was preparing for Dragonsteel Nexus, doing all the research I could to figure out what even was Dragonsteel Nexus, like what was I signing myself up for, one of the things I was most interested in was building a budget, and to do that I was kind of curious what kind of things were sold at Dragonsteel Nexus, but there's like no videos like that. So here is my video like that. Basically, I just wanted to show off the fun items I picked up while I was at Dragonsteel Nexus to maybe give you either a little bit of a preview if you are planning to go in the future, or if you're just curious, just to show you. I do love to share. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the haul. First, I want to show all of the books that I bought or took with me to get signed from Dragonsteel. The first book I bought was a physical copy of The Emperor's Soul. Every other Brandon Sanderson book I own is the hardcover, so I kind of wish this was hardcover, but the hardcover has a completely different cover and I really like this one. I feel like this is the classic cover everyone associates with The Emperor's Soul. Nothing too special about it, it just was there and I saw it and I said, yeah, I think it's time I get it. I took that as a sign. So, got The Emperor's Soul. Next, if you're familiar with Dragonsteel Nexus 2024's con game, they did like these trading cards that if you compiled them all together, they not only showed pictures, but they also showed a story. They have now published those stories. So we've got Elscaller by Brandon and Dan Wells, and then we have King Lopin, the First of Alethkar. This is by Brandon and Isaac Stewart. I did luckily have tickets to meet Isaac Stewart, so I went ahead and got this signed from him. It says, to Adrian, flick my sparks. Don't know what that means. I assume it's something to do with the book, like a quote from the book. And then the other side, I was lucky enough to also go meet Dan Wells, and he put, for Adrian, listen, do you smell something, Ghostbusters? So if you didn't know, Dan Wells loves movies, so naturally he signed it with a movie quote, and you know what? I love it. It's super special. And what's really cool about this, let me see if I can find one that doesn't look like a spoiler. I mean, this one's literally the cover, but it does have the illustrations from the cards. So I do think that's really cool. It's a really cool attention to detail, especially for those of us that missed out on the trading cards from last year. Finding one that doesn't seem spoilery is so hard, actually. Let me try King Lopin. Maybe that side is better. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, like literally all of these feel like a spoiler. Maybe this one. But I do think it's super cool. And then the third story, there was 3 different stories that the cards made up. The third story is going to be one of the Hoyd's storybook collections. So the Chasm Fiend and Friends little story will be in the Hoyd's storybook collection, which is dropping in March. And then if you weren't familiar, Dragonsteel Nexus is technically always a book release. Like, you know how like some authors go on book tours? This is basically Brandon's book tour. He just does it as a convention. So the book that was released this year was Tailored Realities. I did get one of the signed and numbered pre-order copies. So I was lucky enough to receive 599, which I feel like is a really good number considering it was just like luck of the draw, but yeah. This is a non-Cosmere collection of short stories. I'm really excited to read it. I love the cover art. If I had thought about it, I would have gotten it signed by the cover artist as well, but I didn't do that, so sorry, sir. Speaking of signed by the artist, though, I did go ahead and pick up a second copy of Tress of the Emerald Sea, only because one of the vendors there was selling Brandon Sanderson's signed books. He went to their booth and signed like a whole bunch of books, and I found Tress, which was one of the books that I had technically packed with me to get signed by Howard Lyon. He's who did the amazing Tress illustrations. So I did go ahead and splurge on the pre-signed Brandon Sanderson Tress copy, and I then went and got it signed by the artist, and I'm really happy. This was actually the very first Cosmere book that I ever read, so I'm really happy to now own a signed copy. And then I haven't read Skyward yet, like the Skyward series. I believe it's a collection of 4 books, but I plan to, and I have been looking at the collection of the short stories for that as well for quite a while. It's been in my Amazon cart. Well, Jancy Patterson, the co-author of these short stories and the lady who's going to be taking over the Skyward series for the rest of the books, they did announce that there's going to be another trilogy in that universe. I don't know if it follows the same characters or different people, but more books are coming. Anywho, what I'm trying to say is she had a booth there, and so I did go ahead and pick up Skyward Flight, and she did sign it. She said, "Adrian, don't squeeze the slugs." So I thought that was super fun. I've had this in my Amazon cart for forever, and I've just never gotten it. And now in hindsight, I'm really glad I've never gotten it, because now I have a signed and personalized copy. So I'm really excited about this. I keep telling myself that once I finish all of the Cosmere, or get kind of close, which now that Dragonsteel's finished, the pressure's off, right? I was going to pick up the Sun Eater series as my next kind of like major project. Well, I went ahead and got Empire of Silence, the first book in the Sun Eater series. It's this gorgeous like special edition, and it is signed and personalized to me from Christopher Rocchio. He was so nice. He and I did have a little chat about how I've been kind of intimidated to read his books because his main character's name is very similar to my name. It's Hadrian. Like this. So I'm a little scared, but I've heard nothing but great things about this series, especially for people who like Red Rising, which I obviously do love Red Rising. So I'm really, really excited to get into this. I'm really hoping they make a box set though, because I want all of them. Okay, and then these next 2 books are books I brought from home to get signed. Like I mentioned earlier, I did have a ticketed signing with Isaac Stewart, and I love this constellation piece he did for the Arcanum Unbounded in papers. And so I did go ahead and get it signed by Isaac. He does have his like printed signature in here, but oh well. They are sold out of prints for this piece and have been for like months. So this was as close as I could get. I told him I desperately need Dragonsteel to restock them because I just love this piece so much. And then last but definitely not least, I did bring my copy of Dungeon Crawler Carl from home, and I got it signed by Jeff Hayes, and he drew a little princess donut in the corner for me. I'm so obsessed. I love it. I think it's awesome. And I do have tickets to meet Matt Denneman in February, so I'm hoping I can complete the signature set. I'm hoping maybe if I'm nice enough to Matt and kind of, you know, ask nicely, maybe he will also do a little doodle. But anywho, signed Dungeon Crawler Carl. Okay, and those are all of the books that I got. I do have a couple of other signed items that I can show you really fast, and then we're going to move over to my art wall to show the rest of the art prints that I got. Okay, so Pierce Brown was there, so naturally Lit Escalades, his company, was there as well. I did pick up this hat while I was there. It's been in my cart literally forever. It's a Pegasus Legion Mustang themed hat. My dog's name is Mustang. She's my favorite character probably ever, so of course I had to get it. I was talking to one of the sellers from the Lit Escalade booth, and they were gassing me up saying it looked really good, so naturally I had to get it. But my other signed item that I'm really excited about was they did have signed copies of the Book of Lorne from Pierce Brown, which, if you don't know, is a short story collection. Half of it is comics and the other half is written prose, and it follows both Darrow in the written prose and Lorne in the comics, trying to... It's basically the story of Lorne and his training, and I haven't read it yet, to be honest. It's usually a Patreon member exclusive, as long as you are tier 1, which is a $5 subscription or higher. But yeah, they were selling signed copies. So I got this, and I'm really excited to read it physically. They have started episode 2, so maybe if I'm lucky I can find a signed episode 2 at some point in my life. Look at this hat. I love it. But the other signed items I did get, again, Isaac Stewart, we know we saw him. They had a table at the Dragonsteel, like, booth where you could trade in your little ticket. They gave each person a ticket that said, you know, it was to enter drawings, but you could turn in your ticket for a guaranteed prize. One of the guaranteed prizes was this bookmark, but I was talking to the squire, which is one of the workers, and I said, man, I have an Isaac Stewart signing, and that looks like some Isaac art. And he was like, just take it. Like, please, take it. So I got this bookmark, and I got it signed by Isaac. Again, I love the theme of the celestial art that Isaac Stewart has done. I had to get it signed by Howard Lyon. This art is just absolutely stunning. When I was getting it signed by Howard, he was like, oh my gosh, Isaac is here, tell him to say hi. I was like, yeah, sure. But it was a fun interaction. And then the store was also selling the coasters from last year. Last year's World Hopper Ball was themed towards a wedding, and so they had some Rochard wine wedding like coasters, and Miranda Meeks did the art for these, and I bought some of the coasters, and then I saw she was there, so I did go ahead and get it signed by Miranda right there. And yeah, she was super nice. I was just kind of like, hey, I know this is weird, but can you sign this coaster for me? And she was really nice about it. And so now I have a little signed Miranda Meeks art coaster. YOLO. And then, last but not least, I believe this is my last signed item, which also, oh, well, no, I have an art print over there, but I'll show you with the art prints. I did go ahead and buy all 12 of the location postcards, and the artist was there. So we've got Kazar. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I think this is from White Sands. Let me know in the comments. We've got Elantris. We got Tetelier. I don't really know where this one is from, to be honest. So we've got Luthadel. We've got the Forests of Hell. We've got Irathiru. We've got Elendel. We've got Shadesmar. We've got the Shattered Plains. We've got Tress of the Emerald Sea. We've got Kilahito, which, fun fact, the artist, see his little signature, cute. The artist and I were talking, and he asked me like which of the 12 was my favorite, and I said, honestly, I think this one, which is crazy because it's my least favorite Brandon Sanderson piece of like literature. It's just my least favorite story I've read, I think. And he was like, you know, that's my job as an artist, to make you love pieces even from works you don't like. So I thought that interaction was kind of cool. And then last but not least, we've got Pachi. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these because 12 is a lot, but I'm super excited to have them. I kind of think maybe I'll pick like 2 or 3 that are my favorite and maybe hang them up with the rest of my art prints, or I don't know. But I have them and I am so excited. I don't know, but I have them and I am so excited. Okay, and then the last item I'm going to show you for now is the Dragonsteel bags. I believe they are the same ones as last year. So we've got little bag, big bag, and then this one might be, yeah, this is the 2025 like VIP bag. I didn't get VIP, like I didn't pay for the premium merch, but Tour's booth was handing them out, so I did grab a couple. But it's the 2025 like little logo, and yeah, I love the bags. I have literally so many. I have, I think, like 5 or 6 of each, so. Okay, now that I've put all the books back on the shelf, I thought it'd be fun to do a little re-overview of my special bookshelf I've got over here in the corner, now that I've got all of my little trinkets, books, etc. set up. And by all my little trinkets, I mean a ton of them. I, like I said, was in the World Swappers, and I got so many fun little trinket items, so let me share with you guys. Okay, so first, my Red Rising shelf. This was a trinket I got from a girl. I got this mini book, and then I grabbed a couple extra Hail Reaper little badge ribbons. Went ahead and just displayed one, you know, no big deal. And then right back there is my Book of Lorne. I don't have a better way to display it or store it, at least right now, but that's the Red Rising shelf. Okay, and then this next shelf changed quite a lot. It used to have all of my Red Risings and a bunch of merch. I'll be honest, the Red Rising merch is kind of just stuffed in the back there now, and my little bedazzled book is no longer on display, but that's because, as you can see, I have my Dungeon Crawler Carl stuff I wanted to display. So I got so much cool stuff during swappers. Like I've got a Slugalo, New Achievement, many books, Jesus, Crawlcon, Crab, etc. My signed copy. And you know what? I'm perfectly content with them sharing a space. I do think I need a second bookshelf though to continue to display all this. I also got this during World Swappers. It's fine, I'm fine, everything is fine. Burning a trash can. And then that's the Dragonsteel logo, but I thought it kind of worked with my dragon themed stuff. Okay, and then this is Sanderson shelf number 1. As you can see, it has so many more trinkets on it now. We got so many. Like I said, the World Swappers were so generous. Got my Yumi, oh no! Got my Yumi themed swaps, my Isles of the Emberdark themed swaps, which I don't have an Isles of the Emberdark copy yet, so I just made a little corner for them. My Your Dreams of Travel Are in Your Future Dragonsteel Nexus little reminder. My Tress swaps. Went ahead and put the dual book back there. And then these are all of my Roshar trading items. So like we got a little shelf. I don't know what you'd call that. Like a shelf slider decor thing. This beautiful art piece from the Hidden World Swapper. Amazing. A little painted thing, an Oathbringer, etc. So many items. Oh, and this is the little mental health pin coin thing that Brandon teased during the release party. Went ahead and bought one of those to support the cause, and I'm really happy about it. Look at my little Stormlight Archive section. I love it so much. Okay, and then we come down here for Sander shelf number 2. We've got Elantris and the Emperor's Soul and my soul stamp little area. And then I have some Warbreaker goodies. That little piece of ribbon, if you breathe on it, changes colors. Here, one second. Did it do it? There we go. Isn't that so cool? Because, you know, Warbreaker has breath magic. I thought that was just so cool. And then we've got all of my Mistborn theme items, including a couple of Merrywell flowers. Is that how you say it? I don't know. But like, look at this 3D printed little guy. Perfect. He's perfect. And then I've got a little Ghost Bloods. Oh no, everything's falling. I shouldn't have picked him up. We've got like a little Tensoon, that cutie little sticker, my Nightblood, and then I have my Sideovers, is that what it's called? I have just a couple little trades from that. Like I mentioned, I haven't read it yet, but once I do, super excited, especially now that I've got my little slug friends. But yeah, that is Sander shelf number 2. And then last but not least, in my shelves now, I have this. It's like a little book stamp. I assume you could stamp it and then, you know, write your name under the... This is like the picture of what it looks like. Not really sure, but I own it. It's kind of cool. So for now, I'm just storing that here because I don't really know what else to do with it. But yeah, that came with the Isles, or no, sorry. The, where'd it go? Tailored Realities like book bundle. Another item that I'm going to go ahead and pop on the shelf real fast is this Dan DeSanto's like rainbow sticker that you got if you purchased an art piece, which I did. I purchased the big version of this print and he signed it for me and I love it. I love that it does the rainbow. That's so cool. So on brand for Warbreaker. If you didn't know, this is going to be the new, I think it's the paperback cover for Warbreaker. So I think this is just awesome. I'm just gonna kind of stick it up there for now. Just to show you, this is the big copy of the art signed by Dan Dos Santos himself. I love it. The second he announced this, I knew I had to buy a copy, or a print, I guess, but I don't really know where to put it because up there is my art, and most of those pieces are really small, and this is massive, but I definitely want to put it somewhere. Maybe my husband will let me just hang it just in the house. Okay, I thought I'd just really quickly show you a little overview of all the art I'm going to hang up, and then I'll show you a like finished version of my art wall once I update it. So first they had this Wave Kings 10-year anniversary bookmark, but on the back it has the map of Rochar, so I did go ahead and grab one of these from their freebie table to hang up on my wall. If you watched my Dragonsteel Nexus vlog, you will know that Pierce Brown announced a new Red Rising special edition, but on the back of the announcement is this really cool art print of Darrow. Definitely want to hang this up. When I got my stuff signed by Howard Lyon, he gave me this little tress like postcard, so gonna hang this up. I did already own this, but when I put all my trinkets on my shelf, I now need to finally hang up my Mistborn print from a Lemon Leaf. And then speaking of a Lemon Leaf, she was at Dragonsteel Nexus. Amazing. And every con she does, at least the two I've seen her at, she does a buy two, get one free print discount. So there were two prints that I knew I wanted to get. The first one being this Dungeon Crawler Carl print. Are you kidding me? This artwork is stunning. Carl has never ever in his life been hotter. I'm sorry, but like this is a peak. Jenna, if you are somehow watching this, stunning, okay? Absolutely stunning. And then I obviously had to get her print of Red Rising. Anytime I see artwork of my boy Darrow, I just have to buy it, okay? It's my weakness. So we got Darrow and EO. My literal only like complaint about this piece is this isn't necessarily how I pictured his sling blade. I pictured it more, you know, of the circle, the way it is in this one. In this one, she's got more of a straight sling blade, but like, my girl killed it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then for my third piece, I was kind of like, I don't know what to get because I already own, when I was purchasing this, I had already owned 4 of her pieces. So I was a little bit like, what's even left for me out there? So I did go ahead and pick up this print of, I forgot his name all of a sudden. It's the guy from The Lord of the Rings, the really hot one, you know, Aragorn? Is that it? That feels right. It's Aragorn and his horse. Because one thing about me, I love the Lord of the Rings movies, and I really think I'll like the books too. So, had to buy this as well. And then I have the other 2 pieces that I showed earlier that I got signed. So, we are going to try to fit all of this on the wall. Some of the stuff that I do have up there, I might go ahead and switch it out because some of this stuff is like just generic art. I don't know. I will show you an overview once I have finished. Okay, this is what I've got for now. I am really, really happy with it. I think it looks super cool. Let me show you a zoomed out version. This is it from a distance. Yeah, I think it looks really, really good. I could maybe put one more item right there to like kind of equal things out, but I think for right now it looks really good. But anywho, thank you so much for watching today's video. I am so glad that you are here and joining me for this Bookmas season. I've had such a fun time recording everything so far, and I'm really looking forward to the videos we still have yet to come. I am feeling the Dragonsteel Nexus like remorse so bad though. I miss it tremendously, so really happy I get to share a little piece of that joy with you guys. And like I said, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.